You saw the ship crash, you saw the creature emerge, and you saw the beginning of what looks like the end for us on Earth. But what you didn't see? The dozens of hidden secrets packed in every single frame of Alien Earth.
So let's discuss and break down some Easter eggs you miss, what callbacks you spotted but couldn't quite place, and the clues about where the story is headed. All right, welcome back to the show. Today we're going to discuss Alien Earth, episode 1 and 2. All right, War, tell us what this show's about.
Yeah, so to wrap up episode 1 and give the gist of it, it's really primarily when the ship crash lands on Earth, and then it has the sister just searching for her brother amidst an unexpected alien threat.
All right, so first we're going to discuss a few hot takes and a few things we saw in episode 1. And then we'll go into some of the Easter eggs that reside in that episode. So how do you feel about this new Alien franchise now that we saw episode 1?
Yeah, there was a lot of good in there. I know that some people on the internet overall have some, other opinions. And, there is hot takes, and we'll get into those here momentarily. But overall, I really actually enjoyed the overall vibe and flow of the first episode. I had some things to go into it, but before we go into that, what about you, Ghost? How did you feel about the episode?
I thought it was good. Episode 1 is very informative. It taught us a lot about what Boyd Cavalier has going on, what his intentions are, and what he's trying to bring to humanity as far as a new version of humanity, one that doesn't die and is everlasting. So I thought that was interesting. As far as the use of his new creations, I don't think they had that in mind, but it seems like they're flexible and kind of looking for maybe new uses to these new beings. So I thought that was really cool. One scene that stuck out to me is when she jumped off the mountain in episode 1, when she was just hanging up on there, and she jumps off and lands on her feet, no problem, takes off running. I thought that was a good show of her abilities.
Yeah, I really didn't like the transition to that scene for a second there. I thought for a second it was I thought it was she was in her head or something like that, because she was laying down at the table and it looked like she was going to a dream state, and then she woke up kind of as her, but it looked almost like she was in a dream. Yeah, and then she woke up on the cliff. That was a weird transition how they did that. I actually didn't like it. I thought it was.
Yeah, I think maybe what threw you off too was the color change and the background change.
Most likely.
Yeah, it goes from dark and gloomy to bright on an island type setup thing.
Yeah, and the whole island thing, again, I think that's a whole homage and a parallel to Peter Pan, right?
Yeah, it's a Peter Pan homage.
So I guess that's why they switched it up like that. And I mean, mind you, the scenes, and we're going to get into that more, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. I liked how they gave us a little breakdown in the beginning of the episode, telling us all the different, classes or, beings that are existing, right? We have the humans, the synths, the cyborgs, and the hybrids.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a good episode. I think that they could have kept the tension better. There really wasn't any suspense. I guess there was some parts in the ship, but my biggest take on that was I really wanted the ship scene to happen, the outbreak on the ship.
Yeah, it kind of felt like maybe they might come back to it.
I think they will, honestly,
wait, so part of that, which I think is going to come back to it, is Mr. Tang, right?
Some theories?
Mr. Tang is kind of weird, guys. I don't understand why that was in the show. He's watching their bodies when they're in cryo sleep. That was weird. He's a space gooner.
Ultimate Voyager gooner.
Yeah. So maybe they'll come back to Mr. Tang and we'll see a little bit of what happened on the ship, before their crash landing. So they probably are setting up for that to come back in the next few episodes.
Yeah.
But overall, I do like how Hirsch kind of, goes into feelings and emotions and how, they have feelings and emotions, but it's simulated. It's not true feelings and emotions.
Oh, you mean the hybrids themselves?
The hybrids themselves, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was interesting, too, to see how they're pumping them with hormones.
Yes, I think at some point, they're going to be able to override their feelings and emotions. And we might see some interesting things from some of the hybrid characters later on down the road, because they keep like they've mentioned this a few times already, like Hirsch will say certain things to let them know that they're not animals, they're machine just like him.
Yeah, well, they're no longer humans.
Exactly. He doesn't have feelings and emotions anymore, but yet they still have fear and all these
but
things.
He's a cyborg himself.
Exactly, but they should be the same way. In theory, they should actually be the same exact way as he is. But they're simulating feelings and emotions, so that way they feel more human. But at some point, I think that's going to be overridden because the writing's on the wall already. They keep mentioning this over and over. So there's got to be some reason they keep mentioning it because, I would think something's going to happen down the road.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the big internal fight that most likely one of the characters has, right? Between themselves, like morally and ethically, as they're trying to side most likely on some team down the season as we keep going along.
Yeah.
One of the weird hot takes I had, so you want to transition to the hot takes now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing I had that was kind of weird, right, was how did the sword get stuck on her back?
I don't know.
Good question. She took the sword, just put it on her back, and just kept walking.
Oh, maybe she's magnetic.
Kind of like
That's funny.
I don't know if it was playing.
I didn't even get that
video game called Nier Automatica, but it felt like Nier.
Yeah,
it was exactly like that. It was kind of weird. I was like, how did that happen? But yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I think one thing that I noticed that I haven't heard anyone say is that Boy Cavalier reminds me of L from Death Note.
Yeah, that's a pretty good take.
His whole personality has to be, deriving from L from Death Note. Someone watched that show and was like, let's turn this guy into a genius in the Alien show.
I could see that. I mean, L has a lot of childlike mannerisms to him, and I think Boy Cavalier was supposed to, as we know, he's supposed to be Peter Pan. That's really why he's kind of like whimsical and boyish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see that. I could see more of an L. I mean, he's definitely very smart. I remember that one scene when he basically backhanded his assistant, saying that he doesn't have anyone as intelligent as him to have.
He just wants to have an intelligent conversation with someone.
Right.
I wonder what the level of his intelligence actually is. I mean, I guess he did build a whole city. What was it? It's only existed about 10 years, supposedly, something like that? Mm-hmm. Not sure, but I think that was the time span.
And he's also the master genius behind the whole branching of the consciousness, so he is pretty intelligent.
Yeah, that's true. How do you feel about the alien flashing his grills like he's from Florida? He had them platinum grills.
He had the platinum grills. I mean, it was a cool scene. It definitely was a cool scene overall. Because I mean, they've done that a couple of other aliens. He always snarls.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh, that was a Florida moment. So, how do you feel about some of the special accesses that Wendy has?
Right. So one of the things that made me kind of confused was what makes her special, right? Because all these other kids just started lining up right after her and going through the same process. So, and I thought she was supposed to be some type of unique being of some sort, being the first, and the way they hyped her up in the episode. But as they continued showing us the story and they kept unraveling, we did see that she was able to do some very unique things versus the other Wonder Boys, or the Lost Boys rather.
Yeah.
Where she was able to rewrite the code of a bot thousands of miles away from her in real time and have it output a different response. So she does seem to have some strong or different unique capabilities than the other Lost Boys.
Yeah, that's correct. I wonder, I think they mentioned it in the show about giving her certain abilities, but I'm not too sure if I paid too much attention on how and what she can do. So if you're watching this, leave some comments. If you know the answers to that, let us know. So let's discuss some Easter eggs from episode 1. First one is with the Nostromo opening homage. Episode 1 opens with USCSS Maginot crew waking up from cryostasis, mirroring the aliens' 1979 Nostromo crew awakening. Completed with the same camera angles, the crossfades, the ping sounds, the title fades, replacing the original film style. Even the interior of the ship itself does mirror the original ship from Aliens 1979. So I thought that was pretty cool. It had the same aesthetics, had the same feeling, kind of the same scene. So it was definitely a good homage. And then number 2, we also have the Mother AI, which the Weyland-Yutani Mother AI is the same system used by Ash and Aliens, tying the show to the franchise's tech.
Yeah, I thought both of those Easter eggs were really cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. I didn't know if I loved the fact that the tech would look so dated, right?
Yeah, that old Matrix
The
looking.
CRV TVs and stuff that they had on the ship.
Yeah.
But it did hit the nostalgia bug to see the crew and in the cryostasis and everything, just like the original Aliens. So I mean, it was worth it, I guess. But
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, why are they using these old 1990 computers?
yeah,
but it is what it is. It's pretty funny.
And it was cool to hear Mother again when he went into the room. It was like, hey, Mother, So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. It couldn't really tie it in, But the fourth Easter egg that we know of, right, is what we kind of already discussed a little bit, which was the whole Peter Pan theme that's going on. The episode is titled Neverland, and the whole point that the main character's name's Wendy, and the squad is literally named after the Lost Boys. So we have Slightly, Curly, Smee, Toodles, and Nibs. So reflecting really the show's theme of the children in synthetic bodies who never grow up. And they show even clips from the 1953 Peter Pan during the consciousness transfer, emphasizing this allegory. So Boy Cavalier is honestly what it looks like to be Peter Pan, with his name and his immature charisma.
Okay, so listen to this theory. All the Lost Boys names in the show do come from the Lost Boys, except for Smee. He comes from Hook's crew.
Oh.
So perhaps there's a play on one of them that's going to go rogue or go bad later on down the road.
Quite possibly. I mean, they are children still at this point, and they are very highly influential.
It's an Easter egg within an Easter egg.
And I mean, if we're still staying on this theme of Peter Pan, right, then who is going to be Captain Hook? Is it going to be one of the other different corporations that come around,
True. I think that was a pretty good idea. Some nostalgia in the Alien franchise. Yeah. I didn't see that coming. I didn't think it would work well, but
it's like you said, it's a good cameo. I mean that it's Disney that created the whole thing, and they own the IPs, right? So they could throw in the whole Peter Pan thing anytime they want. They're like, oh, we own this, so we could reference it how we want. It was neat. The fifth Easter egg that we're well aware of right now is the other cameo that Disney threw in there, which is an Ice Age shout out, right? So Hermit recalls watching Ice Age Continental Drift with his sister Marcy, who is now Wendy after the conscious transfer, right? Quoting, "Have a heart or face my fury." This makes Ice Age canon in the Alien universe. So it's a nod to Disney just showing up, ownership of both of those IPs. Within this one episode, which is hilarious.
I'm telling you, they're hitting the mark. They're trying to get these kids to watch the show, the young Gen Z kids, which is working.
I mean, it kind of hits 2 points, right? It hits the Gen Zs and it kind of hits the millennials. Because, I grew up watching Peter Pan. I grew up watching, Ice Age. So to call those both out within the first episode was a little funny to me, but interesting that they could do that.
Yeah, when he said "Face My Fury," it had like a little cameo to the movie itself.
Yeah, with the sloth guy.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. It's like, why'd they put that in there? But I guess they wanted to make it known where the line came from.
Yeah, I mean, and what was the whole point of that? I guess it was supposed to tie into some nostalgia between childhood nostalgia between them two, but it also was like, I mean, I saw some things on the internet talking about they're trying to bring up global warming. Because remember, when we did the trailer breakdown, right, there is the whole overall theme that they haven't discussed yet, that there is some type of issue going on with Earth, some type of overheating or overcooling. So maybe that was a tie-in to that too later on. Because of their childhood, they watched a lot of Ice Age or
possibly. Let us know in the comments if you know the answer to that question. Why did they include the Ice Age? Was it global warming? Was it anything else? Please let us know. We would appreciate it.
All right, guys, before we get into episode 2 discussion, please make sure to drop a subscribe and hit that bell for alerts. And stay tuned for some more. So episode 2, right? So we're going to go right into its synopsis. It really overall ties into tensions rising between both evil corporations, or I guess there could be evil. They seem to be quite evil, honestly. Yeah. And then a reunion takes place between, Wendy and her brother, and then a secret is revealed in the episode as well.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel about the two corporations?
Well, we only got a little bit of tension in between both of them, right? So Wayland really called in and was like, "Hey, this is our stuff. Don't mess around. We're sending an envoy to go recruit and gather our belongings." But the boy genius, right, was like,
"Yeah, he's like, I'm not giving it back to you. It's mine now. I want it.
Go F yourself," pretty much.
Yeah. Well, there's a rumor supposedly that Wayland might have sent the ship there on purpose to try to like cause the end of Prodigy City.
Yeah, I saw that rumor, and I wonder if it's not even Wayland. I'm thinking maybe one of the other corporations.
Could be.
And that's why maybe they haven't shown the spaceship scene, right, with the whole outbreak. Because that was a big L for me. I really wanted the outbreak to happen. I wanted to see what happened. Like, that would have made it more feel like Aliens, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But episode 2 redeemed itself.
I'm pretty sure it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
A massive city alien outbreak, because Hirsch did mention like they are going to reproduce if they get let out. And I'm pretty sure he didn't say that for no reason.
Yeah, and there was a lot of weird moments in this episode that made me question things, right? So one of them was that, right, when Hirsch said that and Wendy didn't even mention anything about the bear marks, all the blood that she saw in the elevator and all this stuff.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, she already pretty much knew one of them got out, but she didn't even tell Hirsch.
Well, you're also correct, because her brother didn't even tell her. He just had a battle with an alien monster. He's like hanging out with them.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, he just got knocked out. He got zapped out. He woke up. He picked up the baseball, whatever, right? And he had that moment, which I thought was kind of cheesy again to have. But I guess they wanted to have them have like some sweet reunion moment put in there. Mm-hmm. But how don't you just immediately tell the next person you see, you're going to see some crazy alien bear thing, just maul and ravage freaking 20 people or 15 people, whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that was kind of unrealistic.
Yeah, there was a few parts in episode 2 that I think felt more Disney than episode 1, for sure. Yeah. It did feel a little bit Disney-like. I mean, they did make the show and they own the franchise, so it is what it is. But one thing I did not like is how irresponsible the children are with secrets.
Yeah, well, it was only, I think it was just one kid.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one kid, you're right.
Yeah.
The other ones, she hasn't told anything to. But I don't think it would be any different. Which, I think kids might be like that. But I don't know. Like, I just thought that wasn't probably the angle they should have gone with. Like, just giving out secrets so quickly. They could have held back on a lot of that. Yeah,
I was wondering again why they went that angle too. It was just kind of strange. The whole like episode 2 had a lot of good things I liked, and one of the things I loved, and I'll mention this, is the action, right? So I wanted action in part 1. I wanted the scene of the ship being taken over, but it didn't happen. But episode 2 gave me all the crazy suspense and action scenes in it. With the xenomorph just tearing through everybody and the gory kind of scenes that were dope. It also gave us a lot more insight to the aliens, the other aliens, not just the xenomorph.
That's definitely true. We got some insight on the other aliens that might exist in this universe, which was really good. It adds some depth and diversity too, because we're not just seeing one type of monster all the time. Now the threats can come from any angle.
Yeah, we saw it was like a tick.
A tick, an eyeball that replaces eyeballs.
Yeah, that thing was weird. It was like a spider eyeball thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy. I wanted to learn more about that, honestly.
Imagine you get 2 of them and you got like 2 in your eye.
Oh, man.
You got crazy eyes.
It's kind of gross. I'll give it that.
Like the guy from Big Daddy with the crazy eyes. That meme.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the bug eyes.
The guy with the bug eyes.
Yeah. I mean, they did a good job, too, with some of the squirminess. Like the tick like crawling on them and sucking them was kind of like... Ugh. The flora thing was interesting too, where he said like, "Was it flora or fauna?" Which I'm pretty sure is fauna, but we didn't get to see what was going to happen there.
Yeah, actually, I didn't remember that. So that means there might be some plant-based alien life forms coming.
Yeah, it looks like in like predator style of alien, because it almost looked like it was about to attack the boy. It had the tentacle come out, and it was kind of like luring him in.
Yeah,
if you recall that scene, it opened out. It's like
yeah, I know what you mean. So there's another rumor that they might be a crossover between the Predator and Alien franchise.
That would be sick.
There are some Easter eggs apparently that are dropped. Now, I don't know how people put these together. Don't shoot me, everyone. Don't get upset with me in the comments. But there's a scene where the guy's spraying the wall, and it shows at least twice. And supposedly That scene leads to a secret room in which they're supposed to do a crossover between the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise. I don't know much about it. Let me know in the comments after you research this, but that's what's trending on X right now. So yeah, I think it'll be sick, but I think it's eventually going to happen. I promise you that.
Yeah, I think maybe further down the season, maybe.
Well, both of the IPs are on Hulu, so
right. But I don't see them swinging out the gate right off with it. Like they're definitely going to try to grow the show, at least season 1, just building tension off the alien and the corporations. Maybe like episode season 2.
Yeah,
sure. They might start bringing it more out. I know a lot of fans are dying for it, but they have a lot already going on in the show.
Yeah.
But it'll be dope. I mean, we all been dying for more Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah.
And they just haven't been giving it to us.
Absolutely. So one of my favorite scenes also in episode 2 is when the cyborg was in the elevator and the alien like just comes up to him like right here.
Yeah, that was a good, interesting scene too.
Yeah, I got you, but I ain't gonna get you now. You know?
Well, I think that was really to show us that it could smell fear.
Absolutely.
So like it responds more to fear. That was a good tell actually for us because it attacked everyone in the room but him because he wasn't afraid, and it even got close to his ear and he was trying to act cool like he was not afraid. And in the moment it heard someone and screamed like, "What the heck is that?" and freak out, it smelled that fear and ran to kill the other guy instead.
Yeah.
So
predatory instincts.
So that's giving us more. I really love how they did the xenomorph. They did a great job. Like it's been coming out of the bushes.
So yeah, the part when when the xenomorph is pretending to be a statue, it just comes out from like the blurry background. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, like
interesting.
In episode 1, even too, they had a bunch of really cool scenes where he was just kind of like stalking. Because that's the cool thing about the xenomorph. It's not dumb. It's a very intelligent creature.
Yeah, absolutely.
It likes to stalk a lot. Its prey. So
play with its food.
Yeah, they did a great job with the xenomorph. Honestly, it looks pretty cool. Is there any other hot takes you have for this episode?
I feel like when she met her brother, I didn't like that scene. To be honest with you, I felt like it was rushed. They should have held it out more, built some more tension. I just didn't like it. It just happened so fast. I didn't like how that kid gave her secrets away. Something as big as that too. It just didn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, the pacing or how they did that. It's just dialogue or writing. I don't know what you want to call it or blame it on, but it was just garbage.
Yeah, that part specifically out of all the episodes, I did not like.
It's like that episode was going so well, and then it kind of derailed there with after the boy woke up, her brother specifically woke up, and then all the next 5 to 10 minutes of the rest of the scene. Like it had some good parts in there, right? Like the cool part was that they went to the eggs. We got to see we got to
see the blue eggs with the mist.
With the mist, what we saw from Prometheus, right? So it was sick. Like that was dope. But like the whole leading up to that, like, and also was like, why do you bring your brother with you? Like she was begging him to bring her. Like, please come. There's gonna be a lot of injured people.
He's like, it's gonna be a party with cookies. Please come. That's what it felt like. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, like I get that they're kids, but they need to start. I don't know. Maybe they need to work on the dialogue a bit between them all because there's a lot of cringy moments.
Yeah, the child aspect, I don't really like too much. I don't watch the Alien franchise to watch kids play with robots. Or Legos or whatever the heck they got going on.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they gotta change that a bit. Like they gotta act more grown up. And perhaps they will because they've been hinting like the children sometimes even catch themselves. They're like, oh, I'm not a child anymore. Like I need to act more grown.
Yeah, and we got an age stamp on that episode. We know Wendy's 12 and we know that the other kids are about 11, it sounds like.
Yeah, her brother's in his 20s.
Yeah.
Like 10 years apart.
But I mean, 12 is pretty young, so but still, like, it's right there at the cusp.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think 12-year-olds act like that, in my opinion.
Right? It felt like it felt like they were acting more like 6-year-olds or 7-year-olds.
Absolutely, yeah, like 6 years. I mean, I guess they kind of were sheltered. They're all sick kids, so maybe they never really had much interaction with other children. So that could be the reason for their inadequate personalities.
Good point. Good take.
Okay, so we're ready for Easter eggs in episode 2. The first one is the blue membrane egg. The xenomorph eggs on the Maggonaut are covered in a blue mist membrane, seen in Aliens on LV-426 and in Alien Romulus. So, as you mentioned, yeah, those are really iconic blue eggs. So yeah, that was really good in episode 2. I really enjoyed
I know.
that.
If I could recall, like the blue mist activates them. So if you step over, like the blue mist actually keeps them asleep.
Yeah, something's probably gonna come out. It looks like it.
Yeah, like
it's like walking around them. So.
Well, the blue mist keeps them like in that sleep state.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it creates that frequency. Remember, she was like, "What's that noise? What's that noise?" It wasn't that the xenomorph was running to them. It's that mist itself creates some type of frequency to lock them in the egg.
Interesting.
And when they walked over it, I was like, "No, don't do it." And they walked over it, and then the brother got snatched.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Yep. All right. And also the infamous pulse rifles and smart guns.
So cool.
The military uses pulse rifles and M56 smart guns, the iconic weapons from Aliens. Yeah, I enjoyed that too. When he pulled out that weapon, I was like, yes, we get the iconic weapons, the pulse guns.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. I'm excited to see what other weapons they got going on in the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
All right, and then we got Easter egg number 3, lab creature sequences. So the episode features, creatures loose in the lab scenes, echoing Aliens face hunger hunt and Aliens lab sequence with Ripley and new creatures antagonizing characters in the crashed Maggonaut.
Yeah, that whole scene was cool. That was the eyeball scene and the little monster scene. So yeah, that brought back some old feelings, those lab alien scenes.
I hope there's more to the leeches. They really didn't show us any more of them once they got fed and they just rolled away all flat and blobby.
Yeah, we need to know what they do other than eat.
Rather than like leeches.
Get fat. Those are fat monsters.
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of funny how like quick they killed them. Like they bit them in them and then and people just died right away. But maybe they'll get into more of it.
Exactly.
But then we have our last Easter egg, right? Which is Reggie Jackson's reference. We have the xenomorph attacks a French theme party in episode 2 where Hermit finds Reggie Jackson's third home run ball from the 1977 World Series. So it was a nod to the pop culture and the episode's title called Mr. October. How do you feel about that, Ghost?
I'm not sure if it was necessary, but either way, cool scene. They try to put in some old 90s nostalgia into the show. As we know, they've been sprinkling that everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool how they did it with the layering effect again, like Ice Age, how they put it in, like picture-in-picture in the film, or in the episode, rather. But I agree with you. I just don't think it was necessary. I think it was just...
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people even got that one or even resonated with that one or probably even cared about it, to be honest with you. I could have gone without it.
I could have gone without it. That's for sure. So in conclusion, episodes 1 and 2 don't just bring the xenomorphs to Earth. They respect the legacy of the originals while adding bold new layers. Corporate war, transhumanism, and maybe even world-ending terraforming. From Nostrom's beep to Peter Pan parallels, every detail feels intentional. The invasion has started, and the secrets are just beginning to spill out.
So what was your favorite Easter egg from the premiere? What's your wildest theories for the rest of the season? Drop a comment below, and we'll see you in the next one.